We age due to lack of mobility. How to save your mobility and therefore save your own lives. There is no age and skill level where it is too late.
Dr. Vonda Wright is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon and a leading authority on longevity and active aging. Through her best-selling books, Fitness After 40, Younger in 8 Weeks, and others, as well as her popular podcast appearances, she offers science-backed strategies for living healthfully and vibrantly well into later life. In this video, you'll discover the hidden risks of sedentary death syndrome, why lean muscle can literally save your life, and how strong bones are not just structural support but dynamic, living organs that influence your brain, metabolism, and overall health, partly through key longevity proteins like Klotho. Dr. Wright also shares 3 powerful exercises to strengthen bones and build muscle, along with practical tips on what to eat, what to avoid, and 3 key supplements to support lifelong bone health. First, let's uncover the sedentary death syndrome.
Sedentary death syndrome. It is the 33 chronic diseases that kill us in this country. It's everything you've thought of. Heart disease, brain disease, stroke, diabetes. All of those 33 chronic diseases that people die of are directly treated by moving. Because if you have high blood pressure, you'll take a pill for that. If you have cardiac disease, you'll take a pill for that. If you have dementia, you could take a pill for that. One pill, moving your body, is the medicine that positively affects them all. So if we want to cure sedentary death syndrome, it involves the medicine of mobility. There are legitimately these time bombs of aging that just happen at a cellular level. But the thing is, our lifestyle can control our mitochondria, the energy of our cells. They can control how many bad cells circulate around. They're called senescent cells or zombie cells. We can control that by the lifestyle we live. We can control inflammation in our body to a certain extent with the lifestyle we live. And so all these time bombs that age us faster, we are not the victims of the passage of time. If you want to feel better now, then that is an action step.
Your lean muscles will save your life.
The one thing that can save your life is your lean muscle mass. My lean muscle mass? You mean just flexing my biceps, doing a few squats is going to save my life? Yes, it is. There is nothing more metabolically important, from a strength perspective more important, from a function perspective more important. All these things that you see here listed are the one that lean muscle mass can give you. And here's the good news. You were born with 650 muscles. Can we really maintain our lean muscle mass across our lifespan? Well, I'm going to give you the punchline. Yes, you can if you invest every day. You do not have to be a professional athlete. You can be a mere mortal athlete like me, struggling to get over the stupid obstacles, but we must invest in our mobility every day. And what this slide shows you on this side is what a 40-year-old's thigh looks like. Full of muscle, robust, very little fat, not marbled at all, right? It's a flank steak, not a Colby beef, right? In the middle is what happens to us if we sit around for 35 years. We lose our muscle architecture. We build huge rinds of fat. Fat is not just hanging off in inconvenient places. It is a noxious metabolic organ that's throwing off all kinds of chemicals that are going to kill you. But what happens, my friends, if you do like Quinn and invest every day in your mobility? You get to keep your lean muscle mass. This is the thigh of a 70-year-old triathlete. Very lean, very flank steakish, very strong, so that this person does not fall down from a standing position and break their hip. Can you maintain your lean muscle mass? Yes, you can.
Maintaining lean muscle mass depends heavily on strong, healthy bones, but their role goes far beyond structure. Think bones are just rigid scaffolding. Think again. What if your bones were actually powerful messengers, influencing your brain, metabolism, and even how long you live?
Bone is not just structural. It is releasing proteins, hormones that communicate everywhere. So when bones release their hormones, I'll give you one example, osteocalcin. It goes to the brain and it stimulates the release of something in the brain called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, long word and acronym, which means we build neurons after stimulation from the bone. We know that people with osteoporosis, which means bad bone, weak bone, have more dementia. There is a communication pathway going, right? Bone sends out osteocalcin to muscle. It speaks back to muscle and helps it with metabolizing glucose. Bone sends out osteocalcin to our pancreas
which is where our insulin comes from. So between talking to our muscle and talking to our pancreas, that is glucose equilibrium. It helps us not be diabetic. If you're a man, osteocalcin goes to your testes and helps you make testosterone. But muscle, like bone, are not just structures. They are metabolic organs that talk to each other in a community. So when a muscle contracts, skeletal muscle, like your biceps contract, it sends out all these communication factors. One is called irisin. It talks to the bone and helps you lay down more bone. It is critical for glucose metabolism, which is our ability to process our food, right? It is critical for the brain. It goes to the brain. But that's not all. Muscle releases a protein when you contract it called Klotho, which is the longevity protein, and goes to all of our organs and keeps them functioning in a healthy, more youthful way. And we know from animal studies that mice that can't make Klotho die old, very young. Well, we did this study where we measured circulating levels of this protein Klotho in 3 groups of people. Klotho, the longevity protein. I measured it in active people over 70, and I measured it in sedentary people about 35. Well, not surprising, people in midlife who were active had the highest level of longevity protein. But you would think 35 trumps all. It does not. The active people over 70 produced more Klotho longevity protein than 35-year-old sedentary people.
How can we boost levels of Klotho, the powerful longevity protein? Dr. Wright shares 3 simple strategies.
And I'm going to give you 3 tips that just may save your life. How about that? Number 1, I want you to lift heavy weights. I want you to lift as heavy as your bones will let you for 3 to 6 reps. That's it. It's easy peasy. This is how you build stem cells. This is how you build mitochondria, which are the powerhouses. And this is how you're not going to fall down from a standing position and break your hip.
We want to be made of healthy muscle. We want to care about what percentage of our body is fat. We need fat. Fat has a purpose in our body or we wouldn't have it. But what percentage are muscle? So what happens when we just focus on losing weight and our primary method is calorie restriction? What we know, it is clear from many papers that if we just calorie restrict with nothing else, we will lose 25 to 50% of our weight as muscle. And then that makes us metabolically less healthy because muscle is a glucose sink. If we lose 25 to 50% as we lose weight, we have less metabolic availability to get rid of all that. And then when we come off our crazy calorie restriction diet, the weight we gain back is 80% fat. So it's not weight, it's composition.
What's the second tip to improve our body composition?
Number 2, I want you to work in 20 jumps a day. You could do it just like this. This works 20 times. You could go up and down stairs. You could jump rope if you want. That will build better bones. Lift heavy and jump up and down.
You need to impact your bones. The mechanical stress of impacting bones, whether it's jumping up and down, running, going up and down the stairs. For people with poor bone density, you can use a reformer, which is a trampoline. It's all important for sending the biomechanical signals to your bone that you're doing work, you need stronger bones. That is transformed into a biochemical signal that your bone cells lay down new bone. That's how you keep healthy bones across a lifespan. What would make the biggest response from your bone? And not surprisingly, we found that impact exercise, the running sports, the volleyball, the basketball sports versus the swimming, the biking, the bowling, for instance, there's bowling in Senior Olympics. Those with sports where you impacted your bone, that impact exercise was as predictive of bone density as things you can't control, like your age, your sex, your genetics. And so it just shows how important putting mechanical stimulus against your bone is. So that was really important.
The third tip is to get your heart rate up.
A brisk walk, getting our heart rates up, 45 to 60 minutes a day, and twice a week, you speed it up and sprint a little. That gathers a lot of power in our muscles. So that's 3 things: lift heavy, do plyo, and base train, and sprint a little. We were designed with strongest muscles below our belly buttons. We have 2 legs. What is the first independent skill we ever learn? Walking. It is human nature to move. What is unnatural is not moving.
So walking, jumping, and weight training are 3 essential forms of exercise to support mobility and in turn promote a longer, healthier life. Now let's explore what to eat, what to avoid, and which supplements may support healthy aging.
If you want to stay really, really, really healthy, we want to eliminate sugar spikes. We want a flat glucose curve because look at all the benefits. Every health problem that you can think of is modified by eliminating refined sugar.
And we have to quit junkifying our diet, primary of which is the added sugar that the American food system has to the tune of 16 pounds, if I remember correctly, of added sugar a month that we don't even know.
And eating green leafy and lean protein. This is what a flat glucose curve looks like. This comes from eating 1 gram of protein per lean body pound a day. So for me, it's about 130 grams a day. So you figure out your own math.
When you eat carbs, your body responds in a least inflammatory way by eating fiber and complex carbs. So this morning here in this studio, I had eggs, which is protein, and some of the most gorgeous complex carb, multi-grain, sprouted this and that bread that just came from your local place, which is so much slower digesting, full of fiber, than a piece of white bread or an English muffin that's going to spike my sugar and it's going to make me inflamed all day long.
Finally, let's talk about 3 supplements Dr. Vonda Wright talks about when it comes to stronger bones: vitamin D.
It's a hormone that affects so many organ systems. It's important for your bones. It's important for your immune system. It's important for your brain. So it's something that everyone should supplement. They should get their level checked. We're all low. And then we should supplement up and then have it rechecked so that you can have a maintenance dose. Usually take it with potassium to help absorption. Magnesium is another key player with vitamin D.